my way and watch out as I come. Busting in your line, cracking helmets in. I bring the pain, so what you gon' do? Stand there and just get shook out ya. So clean out your locker, I'm out to get ya. Cause I just popped ya. You can't take the pressure. You might as well quit cause you just can't last. Madden 2000, put your face in the grass.
Austin Safarian-Jenkins, the first touchdown of Jameis Winston's career.
And your pride in the dirt, so put on a skirt. If you come on the field and don't wanna get hurt, just bruised and beaten, all black and blue. And it's been like that since Madden 92.
Look, ain't no doubt I rep two cities, and ain't no doubt they both do feel me. Tell them his breed, put them on leave.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Buccaneer Blake Sports with your host, Mr. Buccaneer Blake himself. Sorry it's taking so long. You know, I usually have the video out Monday or Tuesday. Just been moving around. As you can see, it's a new venue. I'll get everything straightened up and everything later on, and I just wanted to make sure I got this video out to you guys for people who follow me and want to hear me talk about games. I know just a Thursday night game just happened. Like I said, I'm real late with that crazy ending. Green Bay's on the other end of a Hail Mary finish, you know, being how they were on the other end of the Seattle Hail Mary with the replacement refs. But anyway, let me keep on the game. What happened here? It's going to be pretty brief because I'm not going to bash on anybody too much. I saw what happened in the game, and everybody should have saw what happened. Like I said, Winston went 20 for 36 for 245 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Interception came in a point of the game where he's just trying to force the ball downfield and get some points on the board, but he still shouldn't have threw the pick. He was sacked. We'll talk more about that. He was sacked five times for 33 yards lost. Hasselbeck went 26 for 42. 315 yards and 2 passing touchdowns, no picks. We did get 3 sacks for -6 yards. Martin had 14 carries for 97 yards. Frank Gore had 19 carries for 24 yards. And we'll go into more about that as well. That's part of the segment of stuff I want to talk about. In this game, for the most part, what I saw, I got around to watching the game fully around halftime. I followed extensively via my phone. You know how technology these days, you can keep up with the games the best way you can without physically seeing. That's how I used to watch Bucs games when I was in Philadelphia. That's what I need to tell you. I'm a real fan. I used to watch the dots on the screen on NFL.com and be cheering like as if I actually saw the game. I lost train of thought. Yeah, so I showed up at halftime and I rewatched some of the stuff I missed in the first half because I couldn't get a fully understanding what was going on. So what happened today was we didn't converge a lot of third downs, which, you know, was just poor. Sometimes poor execution, good coverage, good pressure. They pressure just a lot up front, which I'm not sure not a lot. I'm sure a lot of people tried but couldn't. They executed pretty well, getting 5 sacks and got a lot of hurried throws, and a lot of timing were off on throws. When Winston gets time, he'll shred you. That's been a proven fact. But they got effective. They were effective with their pressures, and that's something we got to do. I don't know if you know, get push up front and crowd the pocket, being the 40-year-old quarterback. It would have been nice to getting him on the move instead of him having sitting there on his mark making his big throws, which he was too. Excuse me. You know how I do. It's 3:07 in the morning, been unpacking and moving stuff. Killing us with the third down killer, T.Y. Hilton from Ole Miss, one of my guys I hoped we drafted back then, but I guess I'm fine with the way things turn out. Moncrief coming up with all those third down catches, and Jude and Sterling Moore getting attacked in the second half. They came out the second half attacking them. If you didn't notice, they were coming after the cover 2. They were coming after the cover 2. Like, I think we were leading at halftime with 12-9 or whatever, or 12-6. at half. Just don't quote me on that. I know we were up 12. We had 12 points. They started taking cover 2. Now, if you understand the cover 2, the corner sits on the outside. You run up and you come back in your zone, which was Ronnie Barber was so good at getting picks because he was able to disguise man coverage versus zone. And you put the tight end on the inside and ride him up the seam to hold the safety there, so the corner could slip behind in that gap between the corner and safety, and you got a window to throw the ball in. That's what happened at after halftime when T.Y. got that first touchdown. Sterling Moore was preoccupied with the safety running, or the tight end running up the seam, and couldn't get over to help on the corner on the outside. They attacked that. They attacked Jude playing off and taking the underneath routes and hit him with double moves or quick routes. And in the goal line, he scored and gave up a pass to T.Y. Hilton again. It's an undrafted corner, unproven quarter that's played well. It's just their base of their attack in the second half was to clearly attack these very inexperienced corners that we had, Jude and Sterling Moore. And I really love Sterling Moore after a receiver catches the pass. He's really adamant about taking the shit from you. And I love that about him. If you watch this, Sterling Moore, keep doing what you're doing. You get beat, but you don't quit on the play. That's what's up. That's how you win games. That's why you play on Sundays. Little stall stuff like that are intricate in the game. Penalties was a big part. Cost Doug Martin a touchdown, I believe, in the first half, which led us to field goals. And I mean, in my opinion, had an outcome in the decision-making later on in the game. But remember I said earlier I was going to talk to you about Hasselbeck with 42 passing attempts and Frank Gore with 19 rushing attempts and 24 yards. We keep doing our thing, stopping the run, making teams one-dimensional. Now if we get this secondary and this pass rush, we will be a nasty team. I don't think people understand that. You're just upset because you're looking at what's in front of you right now. This team is getting to that point. If we can get a predominant pass rush in this league with this offense and this up-and-coming offense and keep getting better, we're going to be dangerous, very dangerous. And if you're other teams watching this, you need to be worried because times is about to change. And I'm really happy for it because I'm really honestly sad at the attacks that Jerome McCoy takes day in and day out, year in and year out, as if he plays quarterback for this team. He does, well, he kind of does the D-tackle. Your D-tackle is not supposed to be the anchor of your team anyway. I didn't really want to say that to Bucs fans, but your D-tackle is not supposed to be your anchor of your team, and you actually be settled with. I was never settled with Gerald McCoy being the anchor of this team. And I've met the man personally. He's a nice guy. He's a real nice guy. And I asked him some questions, and his answers were very responsible, being how he probably has a kid and he has a wife, and he logically thinks, and I respected the man for a lot about that. It's nothing crazy that I asked him. He was hanging out with Roy Miller and Brian Arakpo out here in Tampa when Roy was going to Jacksonville, and I don't think I ever seen a growing man like Roy Miller drink a bottle of Hennessy as if it was a Gatorade bottle. And they were good sports. They were good guys, man. It was good seeing Brian Arakpo. Mind you, in case you guys didn't know, Roy Miller and Gerald McCoy, Roy Miller and Brian Arakpo played together at Texas. In case you didn't know that. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And I asked Gerald to take the liquor with him for Roy and them. And we were open bottle liquor, and he said no. So, which I understood why he said no. So I said that's the way he thinks. He's trying to be smart about his, so you don't get caught up in that stuff. I got caught up. I told you I ramble sometimes. I got off topic talking about one thing to another. I told you I wasn't going to say either. We lost the game 12-5, and we couldn't put the ball in the end zone as much as we should have. There I go again. We got a lot of penalties, a lot of holding penalties, a lot of defensive pass interference penalties. That play were, well, it was called a defensive holding. He caught it, and then Sterling Moore stripped from it. So I guess the play didn't really matter because the original call before the pass was even caught was defensive holding. So it wouldn't matter. The lucky part was that they got a horse collar tackle on the end when Jacquez Smith was returning the ball, trying to score. But penalties killed us a lot in this game. We got to clean that up. And I told you we'd be a dangerous team. Like I said, we got to start cleaning up stuff. Lovie Smith's going to start emphasizing on defense, defensive pressure, getting takeaways. And I see them trying that. They sacrifice tackles sometimes, trying to turn the ball over and get the ball back for the offense to put more points up. I see it. And it works out well sometimes. So we do get the ball back for them, or we try to score ourselves. Like we did in Philadelphia, you know, Levante had a pick six. Players creating turnovers for other guys. There's just small stuff like that. But I said our defense is turning teams in one-dimensional. And like I said, Frank Gore, a premier back, I don't know, maybe Hall of Famer, Pro Bowl caliber running back. Held him 19 carries for only 24 yards. So we're making teams one-dimensional, which your passing yards, which that's what I said earlier, comes to 42 passing attempts. But we got to create the pass rush. Now, if you can get a team to be one-dimensional and then get a pass rush and then have decent corners, I think our corners are decent. They're adequate. And I hope they keep playing well. I mean, best players will play. I love Banks. I love Arthur Ron. I follow Arthur Ron since he came to Tennessee. They used to call him Brandon Ron, was his nickname. If they're not playing, I mean, the best players play. And like I told you before in the other video, losses come as lessons. And the lessons came out with Sterling Moore and Jude at corner. And they both played well in those three NFC East matchups. They're holding star receivers to nothing. Like I said, the Eagle game, where was Jordan Matthews? Was he eating a cheesesteak? As I didn't see him on the field hardly. I think he had one pass early in the game. But, like, you know, a lot of times when your team loses, everybody thinks that they have the right answer for why you win. It's really not that hard. I can pull up stats for days and show you the key stat to that game was third down conversions. Sums up everything. Third down conversions, and then you start looking at penalties. Because first off, the penalties will cause the failure of third down conversions. And the defense, third down conversions, not getting offenses off the field on third downs and keep staying on the field, which our lackadaisy pass rush already gets even laxier because now you have to reset every time the chains move on a 3rd and 7 or a 3rd and 10 or a 3rd and 15. You manage to get people off the field, and you can exhale and get off the field. I mean, it is a relaxing feeling, and luckily they weren't pounding the ball and they weren't busting out runs, but Dante Moncrief was finding open lanes for Matt Hasselbeck, and Matt Hasselbeck was finding them. Like I said, later on in our seasons, that will get better. Our offense will get better, and we can start doing things like that. We'll start getting 2-score wins. We'll start being in no contest games. We're right away from it. So people, my message to you is to hang in there. You can clearly see that things are changing. Support them. Stop coming with negativity. Like I said, because of the negativity, it's really making me like Cam Newton more. From the people trying to tear down somebody that he was a #1 overall pick, but you're trying to tear down somebody that took a franchise that was nothing. You tried to demoralize this man and make him seem like he's just a bust and he wasn't trying hard. He doesn't take the thing serious. And here he is, a team that was to you guys, was an underperforming team, an inadequate team to compete in this season is 11-0 over your fan favorite cheaters, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick's Patriots. But you try to minimize what they've done, talking about their record and all that stuff. Mind you, I'm gonna say this. But I know what your rebuttal to this is gonna be. It's gonna be that Tom Brady has Super Bowls. Who has he played in his division his entire career? You could, you know what? The next time, if I can find this before the end of this video, how many times in how many years in that division would you have won that division? Was it the AFC East or the AFC North? The AFC East. How many times in the AFC East, or is it West? The East, I think. Yeah, West is San Diego Chiefs. Yeah, in the East, if the AFC East, you would have won the division with just an 8-8 record. 8-8 record, you would have probably won that division probably his whole career. So that division is terrible. Terrible. None of those teams even have a franchise quarterback. No. Dolphins, if you want to, I mean, I said before, I think that the Dolphins committing to Andy, I was standing down Andy Dalton. Ryan Tannehill is a good thing. Jets switched quarterbacks again. Now you had Geno Smith. Now you're with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Jets, Dolphins, and the Bills still don't have a franchise QB. You run over Tyrod Taylor. You switch quarterbacks from what you had last year. See what I mean? You keep changing quarterbacks and head coaches, and Rex Ryan's in there now. And that division has been so buttercup for years. So I don't think you should talk about anybody having cupcake seasons. He can only play what's in front of him, and they're beating him. Sometimes in a beating fashion. Do I hope the Bucs beat him? Absolutely. But just trying to diminish a man and knock a man down is to try to boost him up with his success annoys the crap out of me. It makes me like Cam Newton more because of that. Because I see the unjustly favoritism to some and the unjustly unfavoritism to others for no apparent reason at all. Just for winning, obviously. You try to pick away and chip at him for winning with less. There's Philly Brown and Teddy Ginn Jr. as your star receivers. Interesting. And I see people defend Aaron Rodgers with the receivers he got. I bet you those receivers are better. Them receivers on the Packers right now are better than what he's got in Carolina. But we won't talk about that. Again, I told you I go off and rant. See, I'm talking about Canada. It's very annoying to see somebody trying to doing something well, and people try to tear him down for it, demoralize him for his schedule that he didn't pick. That everybody decides to take a crap this season. The NFC is taking a crap on itself with these terrible records, and they're in playoff contentions. That god awful NFC East. But again, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know all the answers to a loss every week. Third down is the key word. Third down and getting off on third down. That's what I'm going to leave with you today. Like I said, I don't have much. I'm sorry it's late. I'll put up another video, guys, for soon. And hopefully my backdrop and everything will be nice. It's just been so much right now. And, a lot of things running through my head. A lot of stuff happening. Sorry, guys. I just dozed off for a second, fell in memory, but I'm gonna end it as I always end it. You guys are the master of everything you do with your life. What you do with your life is totally up to you. Y'all be safe. God bless. Have a happy holidays. Spend time with your family, your loved ones. Tell your friends that you care about them. Tell the people that you don't see that often that you care about them, because I'm very guilty about that. Y'all be safe and have a good night.